massive thank you to Honor for making this video possible. Hey, what's up guys, Seb here, and welcome to my review of the Honor 4X. It came out a few weeks ago, and it can be yours for just under 200 euros. But surprisingly enough, this phone doesn't feel like how much it actually costs. It feels like a 400 to 600 euro device, which is just good in, basically everything. So the first thing that's really great about the 4X is its design. Not only does it look good, but it also feels very good in the hand. This comes as a quite big surprise, knowing that it has a 5.5-inch display. The reason for that mainly is because of the expensive paper-looking texture its backplate has. But besides of looking nice, it also provides the phone of a whole lot more grip, which makes holding the phone in one hand a lot easier. I also found it quite nice that when you're holding the phone in one hand, you really can feel the Honor logo, because it's not just a sticker on the backplate of the device. The good thing is though that the backplate is user removable, so maybe Honor will start selling separate backplates, so you can easily switch between colors. After removing it, you will see that the Honor 4X supports dual SIM, which can be very handy sometimes, as well as a micro SD card up to 32 GB. I also think it's quite cool that the power button has a metallic looking finish instead of the color of the backplate like the volume rockers. I not only see this metallic finish as a nice touch to the design of the 4X, I also see it as being handy to easily see which button you are pressing. And while talking buttons, the 4X also features off-screen touch capacitive buttons with, unfortunately, no backlight. And like you would guess, when being in a darker environment, the buttons just disappear. Of course, after using the device for a while, you know where to find the buttons, it's just unfortunate that there is no backlight. Also, when willing to go into your app switcher, you will have to press quite a long time on the button before being able to do so. The reason for that is because when you are in an app and you give it a quick press, you will get a settings tab of that app. I think it's cool Honor built this feature into the device, but I would love to have a way to turn it off. Now the thing about all the buttons on the 4X is that they just have the perfect placement, even for holding the phone in one hand. I could easily access all of the off-screen buttons, and when holding the phone it also was very easy and convenient to use both the power button as well as the volume rockers. Something you don't have with most other big smartphones. I even dare to say that the button placement on the 4X is better than on my iPhone 6. It's just a lot nicer to have both power button and volume rockers on one side, especially when they are placed so that your thumb lays on both buttons at the same time. Because of this, you won't have to replace your thumb a lot to access either buttons, making it a joy to use this phone in one hand. And not only holding the phone is a joy, but using its displays too. It might just have a 720p resolution with a pixel density of 267 pixels per inch, but it really looks very crisp. Yes, you sometimes can see some pixels, but for this price you simply can't expect it to have a 1080p or even Quad HD display. Not only does the screen look great, but viewing angles also are really good. Even impressive good. The display also can get very light, and when being in the sunlight I just had no problems at all for seeing something on the display. So having software on a smartphone is obvious, and the 4X is running Android 4.4.2 KitKat. But it has lollipop buttons. Well, here's the thing about it. The 4X isn't running stock Android, it has a skin on top of it that fortunately has a lollipop look. But it doesn't only look and function like lollipop, it also brings some cool features with it. My favorite feature is a feature that lets you draw a letter on the screen when it's turned off and the phone is in standby. After drawing, the assigned app will open and you can directly use it without having to unlock the phone. I do think it's a shame you only can draw 4 letters, but maybe in a future update there will be more letters added. I also like it that you can turn the phone on simply by double tapping on the screen. I just love it when a phone has it because I see it as being very handy. Also cool is that there is another feature installed that allows you to lay your hand on the display of the 4X to put it in standby mode. Unfortunately, this feature didn't always work. I think it's both software related as well as me not doing the gesture right. I just hope that in a future update this feature will work better and Honor will prevent apps from opening when performing the gesture, because this is something that occurred quite a lot when I did it. The 4X also comes with a feature that allows a one-hand user interface. This means that your keyboard etc. will get smaller and be replaced to one side of the screen. You also will get a custom notification center where you can find all sorts of shortcuts, which to be honest I really found very handy. Also coming with the 4X its skin is the option to choose between different themes. I must say it's cool that you have the ability to choose between themes, but I would just love to see a stock theme. Even with the standard theme, the icons aren't stock anymore, and I just wish there was a pre-installed theme that would give you stock app icons. But in other words, besides of the not stock app icons, I just really love the EMUI 3.0 skin Honor built on top of KitKat. Of course the 4X also comes with a camera, one on the front and one on the back of the device to be precise. To start with the front-facing camera, in normal and bright light conditions, pictures you take with it look great. When being in a low light environment, noise appears, but mostly pictures still come out good. For taking selfies you also have a beauty mode. This will make your face brighter and it should make your pictures look better, but to be honest, I rather kept it turned off. Now the rear facing camera is like you would expect of a 30 megapixel sensor. I managed to take some awesome shots with it, and in general all the pictures I took came out great. They were crisp, colors were just right, and when focusing, the 4X really focused on what I wanted it to. And in general I also just love the camera I play out. It gives you a bunch of easy to understand settings, which is always great. Now to store all of the photos and apps on your phone you need storage, and this is a part where the 4X disappoints me the most. I know it's a €200 device and that all the other specs are great, but I see having 8GB of internal storage where only 3.77GB of is available to use just not enough. Yes, you can expand it, but I also find it quite a shame that the SD card slot only supports SD cards up to 32GB. Fortunately though, the battery doesn't disappoint at all. It easily could get through a day of normal usage, and when not using the device a lot I could even get 2 days out of it. And if you really would need to get that last bit of juice out of your battery, you still have an ultra power saving mode, which will only allow you to place phone calls and send text messages to dramatically reduce the power usage. But how does everything run on the 4X? It has a 1.2 GHz octa-core processor with 2GB of RAM, and like you would expect from it, everything you do on the 4X really goes very smooth. It's not the smoothest experience I ever had on a phone, but for €200 you of course can expect the highest specs. But in the case of the 4X, you do have an octa-core processor, and that's a pretty high specification. So the pre-installed apps mostly ran very smooth. I sometimes did stumble onto some lag, but mostly this didn't happen. I also played some games, and again I was surprised by how well it kept up with most games. When playing Crossy Road I did stumble into a bit of lag sometimes, but when going to a more graphic intense game like Real Racing 3, there almost was no lag, so that's very good. Another good thing is that when you are gaming, listening to music or watching videos on the 4X, the speakers mostly won't disappoint you. So they're not always great, but for average usage they should be more than good enough. So in the end I'm really positive about this device. I strongly consider buying it as my only Android phone simply for the fact that the design of it is really awesome, it feels great in the hand, the screen looks awesome, the camera takes great pictures, it has really high specs which make it run very smooth, and in general it's just a joy to use. Yes, it does has its downsides, like not enough internal storage and some bugs in the software, but besides of that I can't really find anything else bad about it. Would I recommend this device? Yeah, I really would. For its price, it really is hard to get a better smartphone with the same specifications and the same beautiful design. So I would say if you need or just want a new smartphone, you should really consider buying the Honor 4X. It's one of, if not the best Android smartphone I used so far. I know it's weird to say that about a €200 device, but it's just the truth. So again, a big thank you to Honor for giving me the 4X to review and make this video possible. Be sure to press that subscribe button to be the first one to hear it when a new video goes live, as well as to see some upcoming Honor content. There will be more hands-ons, as well as some unboxings, and who knows, the Honor 6 Plus might come to the channel very soon. So thanks for watching and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.